Hey, what's up everybody? For all of you who have been following my Parawing journey, yes, it's been a little bit of a chore. Conditions are not always favorable and Parawings just don't have an on and off button, but you know what? This video has a like button and things go a long way. The more people like, the more people see. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And in this video, I want to walk you guys through about 5.5 minutes of my struggles from going out to trying to get up to eventually have some success. So let's watch this whole thing together. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Getting out first, of course, always important to make sure the water is deep. I'm going into about waist deep water there with the Parawing bundled underneath me and sitting on my board. Yes, the water is deep enough and looking to deploy that wing, and yes, they are catching really quick. And that day it was windy, you guys. It was 25 sustained, 30, maybe even 35. I mean, it was nuking, and you can see this thing is yanking on my arm like mad, and here I am taxing out, trying to find stability. And the nice thing is that this thing is really catching the wind, and I'm just taxing out, trying to get on my knees, and then what happens immediately, I'm gaining speed. So that's what happens right away. There's no little bit or a little less, but it's right go time, and I'm trying to get up, and here I am, and I'm trying to sail, and somehow my nose catches, and boom, I'm in the water. And yeah, thanks a lot. Here's the shit show with the lines and the camera, but hey, that happens when you try to film yourself. You have to have a camera and lines catch. That's the one thing that I keep having and over is with those lines around the camera. And meanwhile, the wing is yanking on my arm like no tomorrow, and I'm sitting there trying to find stability, and here I am, the wing in the water. I'm like sitting there trying to find stability. This thing is gusty, and now boom on the other side, and here I am outrunning my own Parawing, having to switch sides again. And that's the number one thing, guys. If it's too windy, it's too windy. It is just gnarly, and there's no stop and on and off button. So I'm just dealing with that, using my legs to steer the board into the right direction, to point the nose further out, to sail out, not just go downwind, back on my knees. And the Parawing is yanking. I'm losing control yet again, and in I am on the other side, trying to situate myself in the water. And as you can see, that's kind of like a nice thing about the Parawing, is that once it sits in the water like this, the leading edge always catches a little bit of wind, so it's not like completely sinking and turning into a sea anchor. So you can see that really nicely here as I'm climbing back onto the board and situating myself and trying to get this thing ready to deploy again. And here I am. You see, it's like you can see my arm. I'm like, by now I'm like, where are my shoulders? Do I still have some shoulders? We are barely. Here I'm getting a little break. Parawing caught a gust and fell into the water there, but no worries. You grab it a little bit and it just deploys again, and boom, here we are. It's yanking. I'm like on one hand losing control, going forward. I'm like, how windy can it be, you guys? I mean, seriously, I'm having problems there. Leaning again, so you see how I'm leaning over on this whole thing and then trying to get this with both hands. Forget about it. So here I am, this thing flies overhead a little bit so I can get on my knees and instantly catches power. I'm back on my knees. Oops, almost. Oh, come on now, come on. Losing control again because there's so much wind and there's so much going on, and I'm one-handed and I'm on my knees, and once this thing wants to go, it goes. And if I'm going, I'm going. And I'm riding a 1080 Armstrong high aspect foil just because I want to have an earlier takeoff and more stability once I'm on foil, because I'm dealing with this new type of sail in my hand that I yet have to master on how to control as I'm climbing back up on to my board. But again, you see, the good thing is this leading edge is sitting there just waiting for me, so that's nice. That's something I really need to learn. I'm back in my stance, or no, having the same problem like before, but no tangulations anymore, no entanglements anymore. It's just like, it's windy, it's blowing, you guys. That day it was just gnarly. I'm back on my knees. So I got that down, but you got to be quick on your feet and then stand up as soon as you can and get that pull right to translate into the board. So then finally here I am up. I'm like, yay, look at this, a piece of success here. I'm up on foil. I can't believe it. I'm flying this thing. It's like, okay, let's do a jibe right away and fly back to shore, because that's what I'm ultimately need to learn. And I'm flying back to shore one-handed, just like the guys in the videos, man, just like the guys in the videos, but I'm not going upwind or sidewind at all. I'm pretty much on a downwind course, plus minus, and a broad reach, and I'm having so much fun. Like, okay, let's try this again, let's do another jibe, no problem, turning around, and I'm flying this thing 3.6 meters, and it is bloody nuking out there, doing another jibe, and great, now back to shore. But the thing is now, how do I depower this thing as I'm sailing back to shore, because I need to get off of this foil. I really need to get off of this foil. The beach is approaching, but like, how do I sheet it in? I sheet it out. I mean, like, what am I gonna do? What can I possibly do to make this thing stop? I need to get off this board, and I'll just jump off and I am done.